He'll insult anybody. He's proven to be a cyberbully. I mean, he's crass. He insults people.
But
he'll do it left, right, and center, small, big.
He's doing it to allies, Mika. He's doing it to allies.
So wait, that's what's going on in your head right now? You're like the worst couple to be stuck with at a wedding reception. You stink! Okay, it's been a tough week. Harvey hung around too long and hurt way too many people in Texas. We've seen the images of houses reduced to piles of lumber, boats wading through intersections, people wading waist-high in water, carrying what few possessions they can, keeping the kids and the pets calm. We've watched on our TVs, safe and dry in our homes, and counted our blessings, donated a few bucks. We've watched rescue after rescue and saw the heroes at work. The Coast Guard, the National Guard, and my favorite, the Cajun Navy. They're all the opposite of me, resourceful and helpful. And as we watched these stories of heroism and bravery, we started to unite a little bit as a nation, didn't we? All that divisiveness we've seen all year felt small. But just as the heroes took over the spotlight, the zeros tried to sneak in and steal their thunder. Like that professor who tweeted Harvey was a, quote, karma for Texas voting Republican. Then he was fired. Karma works both ways, pal. And ahead of the Women's March, directing any funds raised to go only to non-whites. A textbook lesson in turning a unifying moment into divisive conflict. What a loser. And, of course, those who complained about the First Lady's shoes. Those are the zeros. And it sucks that the media gave them any attention at all when there are plenty of heroes that deserve a salute. Like the mayor of Rockport, who told his town before the storm hit, anyone who doesn't evacuate better write their social security number on your arm so we can identify your body. Guess what? People got the hell out. They're alive. Their homes are gone. That was tough love from the mayor, and it was necessary. Which brings me to President Trump. One CNN reporter's assessment of him. Here it is earlier this week.
His words simply did not match the devastation of the pictures. He did not offer any hugs. He did not offer much hope. He talked about businesses more than individual people. That empathy, Aaron, did not seem there.
Oh, my God. I don't care about his empathy. He wasn't elected to be warm and fuzzy. You want that? Buy a bunny slipper, you jackass. That kid. Trump knows how to sign his name on a disaster relief bill, and that's all that matters. And besides, he pledged $1 million of his own cash. The people of Texas need that more than they need words. But I'm sure the left will say that's not enough, just more zeros trying to break up the unity. Okay, more heroes. This guy in his boat rescuing people. This guy in his boat rescuing people. This guy with a horse rescuing other horses. Take a look at this line of trucks with boats hitched to the back, just waiting to help. You're a hero. You're a hero. You're a hero. Churches turned into shelters. Mosques turned into shelters. Furniture stores turned into shelters. That's Jim McIngvale, who opened up his furniture store to displaced residents. He's better known to locals as Mattress Mac, and not for the usual reasons. He does his own commercials.
Gallery save you money.
Take it away, George. How about a friendly tussle? See who sits in the recliner, Mac, huh?
Well, Chuck, how about I get another one out here instead? You see, at Gallery Furniture, we've got a great selection of Franklin recliners. We have swivel rocker recliners. We have wall-away recliners. We have a fabulous selection of leather recliners.
Now you're Recliner Mac. But you're all right. All right. A floating army of fire ants? You're not all right. You're scary. Get the hell out of here. More heroes. Governor Greg Abbott, you kept your state and your president well informed. Brock Long, you've been the head of FEMA for only a few weeks, but they say you're the only man for a crisis like this. Me? I just like saying Brock Long. Brock Long. J.J. Watt, who raised $15 million so far for the victims. And, of course, the truck. And not just any truck, although all trucks rule, but the monster truck. Sure, mock this often maligned mode of transport. But when there's a flood, you better hope the rough-looking guy next door, the guy you made fun of because his truck had 4 feet of clearance, axles taken from school buses, and Terra tires lifted from fertilizer spreaders, he's still willing to truck you and your collection of superhero figurines to safety. I've yet to see a Prius pull anyone ashore. By the way, that truck you just saw, another truck pulled up to help that truck, help the first truck. So that's another truck, free to pull out another truck. This could go on forever. A daisy chain of trucks. There's nothing trucks can't do, or Americans, or Texans, which are Americans, with trucks and guts. Then there are the folks who aren't in their homes tonight. As dopes in Los Angeles quarrel over renaming Columbus Day, these folks are worried about the next day and the day after that. They don't know when they're going to be back home. Thanksgiving, Christmas, who knows? So, will we still be shining the light on them then, or will the zeros have once again divided us? Let's welcome tonight's guest. Superman now wants to play him in a movie. He's tough as nails, but pretty as a pedicure. The actor Dean Cain. She's so bright, she needs sunglasses when looking in the mirror. Former White House National Security Council staffer Gillian Turner. She's like my favorite kind of blood test, always negative. Co-host of the Fox News Specialist, Katherine Timpf. And he shaves with a chainsaw, former bodyguard, and my massive sidekick, Tyrus. All right, Dean, trucks, in my opinion, are just cars with big hearts.
I agree with you.
Yeah. What struck you this week and through all of this? What were you thinking?
Well, I know a lot of people in Texas, and I'm not surprised that they got together the way they got together, and they pulled together, and nobody cared about, you know, what color you were or who you voted for or any of that stuff. Texans are a rare breed. They are Americans with trucks and guts. They really are. They're fantastic. So it surprised me in no way, shape, or form that they came together. I just was very happy to see it happen and not hear so much of the divisiveness and actually focus on what brings us together.
It wiped out the entire media narrative about how they portray this country, and because you cannot deny the visuals, Gillian, when you're watching it, you're looking up there and you go, you can't come up with a negative story. There's not a single example of man versus man or woman versus woman. Everybody was in it together, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was nice to see that at the end of such a, just horribly traumatic week. I felt like today, as we get a little bit like further into the rescue and relief part of all of this, the storm has stopped crashing on people's shores right now. The story of like American resilience has been emerging the last 24 hours, and it's a really beautiful thing. Yeah. Except for the one professor.
Kat, you have an extremely cold heart, but I'm assuming that it had warmed this week and that you even felt emotion.
Yeah, I felt emotion this week, not to brag, but and I really agree with you, Greg, on the criticisms of, well, President Trump didn't show any like empathy. The only time empathy's ever been useful to me is like, if I'm still a kid and you're my dad and I can act sad and capitalize on that so you'll feel bad at me, like bad for being mad at me. Right. Which is actually kind of how I also act with everybody that I've dated, which my therapist has been out of town for a long time, and it seems like I'm doing fine on myself figuring it out. But you ask these people, do you want me to feel bad for you, or do you want a house, and do you want me to talk about how we're going to rebuild your city and make sure that we're there for you and actually provide results? I think they probably would say house.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think empathy helped much in Katrina when when we saw Nagin and Governor Blanco cry and rage and were so incompetent. Tyrus, you've done some stuff to help out people. I saw some pictures.
Yes.
You did?
What I find it.
Yes.
Tyrus, my question to you is: we're seeing so many authentic victims who aren't taking a victim stance. In the last year, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, we've seen people act as victims who aren't victims. People who are victims of microaggressions and so on.
Right.
In this case, these are people who are actual victims, and they're not acting like victims. They're just getting it done.
Because it's not in front of the camera. It's not fake believe. It's not, I'm going to drop on the ground when the camera and scream, "Ah, Trump's president."
Yeah.
It's not, it's real people going through some real stuff. And if I'm stuck on a roof, I don't give a damn what you think. Get me off it. And when you get me off it, I'm going to say thank you, probably hug you. And the fact if you pulled my big ass up on a helicopter, I'm going to be so proud of you. The point is, like,
they would need 2 helicopters.
Donald Trump did something. He gave $1 million of his own money out of his pocket. He said, I don't care what the bill, how much it's going to cost, the money is there.
Right.
Damn, everything else is going on. We're going to take care of you. So he did his job. I don't need a crying ass president. What are we going to do? I need to be like, oh, yeah, we're underwater. All right, let's get some fans. Let's get some stuff going. Let's get some money. Let's get things and get this done. He just said, we're going to get it done. I'm good with that. And as far as like, I sensible portions donated 10 grand. We put 5,000 to the Cajun Navy, and we did to Red Cross, and then we went and we bought Kmart out. Yeah. We loaded it up and we just sent it out. Like, and everybody, people that were shopping, I was like, instead of maybe getting those, goldfish, why don't you get something and send it to Houston? Yeah. And apparently, when I was telling them to, they're like, yeah, maybe I will. That's a good idea. I was going to do it, and then,
You're like a reverse mugger. You show up, you go, I want
you
that.
You going to donate, bro?
Yeah, you're going to donate. They can't call the cops on you because you're actually not taking it for yourself.
No, and the cool thing about this is America. Listen, if you tell us there's a flood coming in 6 years, we'll be like, all right, okay, cool, whatever. When it hits, and when in America we get punched in the mouth, we react and we work together. So when we have things that happen in this country, nobody says, listen, all the white folks get on. You two, you stay there. Sorry, bruh. This is a white helicopter. We don't have issues like that when the things really count. But when you got idle... You
gotta go. One last point. I've noticed Harvey is quite a contrast from social networks like Twitter, which Twitter encourages antagonism because it's not face-to-face. So you can say awful things to complete strangers. Harvey is the face-to-face interaction that shows that humans are actually face-to-face. Cooperation is necessary for compassion. And it's such a striking difference when you see that and you compare it to something like Twitter or Facebook where people are just brutal to each other. It shows you why it's necessary to talk to people and not just, flame them, I suppose. Okay. Coming up, the president pardoned Sheriff Arpaio. Should he stop there or give out more pardons? I have an uncle in jail who's really not a bad guy. I have a theory on pardons. Either you have a bunch of them or you don't have them at all. Trump pardoned Arpaio. Clinton pardoned Mark Rich. Obama pardoned a terrorist, an FALN terrorist. You know what all those pardons have in common? They pissed off a crap load of people. That's all a pardon really does. Here are the pardons that I would give out. Wesley Snipes. Yeah, he didn't pay taxes, but he was awesome in Blade 2. Yeah, it was. The best Blade. 90s Democrats. Compared to today's liberals, you're tolerable. I'm sorry, 90s Democrats, for being so mean to you. And of course, Kathy Griffin. Nah, just kidding. She should never be pardoned. By the way, you blurred the wrong face. Oh. Damn! She lost all protections after what she did.
Fired. He broke me. He broke my face.
So, Gillian, a two-part question. Is pardoning a way for a president to stick it to the other political party? Because they know it's going to piss him off. And do you have any pardons that you would like to give?
Aside from your uncle, no. He's very special to me.
That's
so
true.
I would pardon your uncle.
My uncle, as we used to call him.
I think that the whole pardoning thing, so it wasn't designed to be, you know, a political get-out-of-jail-free card for president's friends, but that's kind of what it's become over the last few administrations. And I think that it ends up being it harms presidents politically a lot more than it helps anyone.
Right.
And so I kind of feel like we should just do away with it.
When you look at it that way, Dean, it's almost kind of brave because you know you're going to get a lot of grief for it, and yet you do it. And people are making fun of Donald Trump for doing it early. Most people do it at the end, like Obama did it at the end of his term,
right at the end,
so he could get out. But this guy, Trump, does it in the beginning, which is, I gotta say, kind of gutsy.
Yeah, he has some cojones there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say he's not scared of that.
What are those?
Cojones.
Well, and before Arpaio
even
is sentenced.
Well, Arpaio was convicted of a misdemeanor. He was maximum going to do 6 months.
Oh, really?
He's 85 years old. He's, we talked about this guy.
Yeah, you know what they do to 85-year-old guys in prison, right? Send him to the doctor.
That's it. They sent him to the doctor. No, you know what? It is brave in that sense because he knew he was going to get a lot of political flack for it, and I think he doesn't care.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets it. The way this news cycle is going with him, people are going to forget about it in about 3 days.
Yeah.
And it'll be gone. So instead of it being his lasting legacy or who he pardoned at the end of it, he did it up front, and he's finished. They're going to scream and holler for a minute, but there's going to be, you know, Melania's going to wear a different pair of shoes tomorrow, and they're going to yell at something else. I have a pardon, though. Here's my pardon.
Yeah, what's your pardon?
I'm gonna pardon myself for anything I may do in the future.
Ooh,
so
that's smart.
I'm immune.
That is true.
Very smart.
That is true.
Can you do that?
I think you can. I'll pardon you when
Yes.
I'm president, which will be in 2024, I believe.
Perfect.
When I'm running. Tyrus, you'll be my running mate. Anyway.
He's a lot smarter than he looks, this one.
There we go.
Wow, that's a nice insult.
You know what? I'm glad you're finally picking it up. It took like 5 or 6 appearances to realize that she is a bully.
Yeah.
And she's always picking on us.
Tyrus, how do you feel about the Arpaio pardon, and who would you pardon?
Well, when I was in Arizona, no one came up to me and tried to take me away, so I guess I'm cool with it. You know what? He was convicted, and it seemed like a political thing, and I'm not really invested, and I kind of agreed with, I get profiled all the time,
Yeah.
the airport, wherever I'm at, and I'm actually good with that because
Gillian profiles you.
Yeah, she did. I wish we could run the tape. Remember that? She was
Why
like,
is everyone
I'm
ganging
surprised you
up on
haven't
me?
been to jail.
Thank
Like,
you. I'm just sitting here trying to enjoy
point is,
myself.
Watch her. She throws these little disses and smiles. See, I'm glad you gave your pardon away because I wouldn't pardon you. Oh, she's the one. She's the one. Watch, you guys gonna be reading about her, being like, "Damn, man, it's gonna be her."
She'll get pardoned though.
Point is, like, I wasn't. If Trump wanted to pardon him, he was a big supporter of Trump. He had his back, and I can honestly say that if I was in that situation and I was like, that was my boy, and was my best friend Vashon, say he did some stuff, right? Don't even trip. Ladies and gentlemen, I pardon Vashon. Damn, he's my friend.
Yeah.
So, you know what? And that's Trump's more down to earth and more like us than he is like them. Like, he's not going to pardon somebody for political high five from his group. He's going to pardon the homie.
Yeah, homie.
So,
Well, President Bush did that.
Yeah.
You know, he pardoned Scooter Libby right at the end of the administration.
But he did it because the name Scooter is a great name. Kat,
no, he commuted his sentence. I don't think he pardoned him.
Oh, really?
He commuted his sentence. Yeah.
It's all the same, right?
So like 6 minutes.
It's all the same if you don't read the article. Kat,
But yes, Greg.
would you pardon anybody?
Well, as a libertarian, I would like to say that I would pardon all of the non-violent criminals locked up for drug offenses. But as a lonely, attention-seeking woman, I would not pardon any of them, but make everyone think that I might pardon them. Because think of all the prisoners I could have trying to woo me.
Don't you already have
Classic
Once they're out,
Kat,
there's no
ladies and
guarantee they're going to text
Classic
you back.
Kat.
I would know
Remember
exactly
the hot
where they
felon?
were.
You should pardon the hot felon.
Many hot felons, I'm sure.
But do you remember him? Is he in jail?
I think I have the calendar, hot felons.
Yeah.
I don't think those letters are going to be as wooing as you
No,
think.
the key is, Kat, is to only woo the guys on death row because you know it's not going to last. I want to just an interesting little theory on pardons. It shows the difference in prism in the way that Trump looks at things and Obama looks at things. Trump will always look through the prism of law and order. So that's why you build the wall, national security, sanctuary cities. So sometimes he'll make mistakes. There'll be flaws, but the vision is law and order. If you look at President Obama, he sees through the prism of oppressor versus oppressed. So he pardons a terrorist because he sees him as the oppressed. And so he makes a mistake like that because of his ideology. I think the pendulum swung this way for a reason. But now people are bored with my commentary. I can tell by the awkward silence that follows. How much would you pay to hear Hillary Clinton read her new book? Better question. Just mention her name and you get a boo. Like a noxious gas emitted from the dregs of an abandoned septic tank. Excerpts from Hillary's new book have been released. Her upcoming book, titled What Happened, comes out this fall, accompanied by a speaking tour where one can get a ticket at the very reasonable rate of $125. I'd rather wrestle a live porcupine. Nude. Seems kind of fun. In recently released book excerpts, she describes her debate appearances with Donald Trump and how she thought about saying, quote, "Back up, you creep," when he stood too close to her. Yeah. Thought about. That's certainly fact-checkable. Funny, you think she would be used to creeps lurking behind her at this point. The audio clips that have been released are as compelling as you can imagine. Here's a baby sloth listening to Hillary.
I want to pull back the curtain on an experience that was exhilarating, joyful, humbling, infuriating, and just plain baffling.
Too boring for him, I guess. So I played some for my cat.
Do you stay calm, keep smiling, and carry on as if he weren't repeatedly invading your space? Or do you turn, look him in the eye, and say loudly and clearly, "Back up, you creep. Get away from me. I know you love to intimidate women, but you can't intimidate me, so back up."
But she never said that. That's the thing. She never said that. I hate that. For comparison, here's that very same cat listening to my book, How to Be Right.
How do I access the unspeakable thoughts so that you will feel a sense of great wonder and satisfaction when you hear them come from someone else's mouth? I do something that, in my opinion, never fails. I pretend I'm drunk.
He bought a lot of books. In bulk, I might add. Put me on the charts. Kat, are you going to buy this book? Are you going to go see her speak? It's kind of exciting. You know, it's up to $3,000 a seat in Canada. You get a seat, a front row seat, a book, signed book, and a picture.
You know what's alarming to me, though, is that some of these, you get tickets. Okay. I feel like I'm living in the Jungle Book. So, you can get a ticket that does not include a book.
Right.
Which means she is having people pay her to advertise to them.
Yes.
Which, like, what a woman of the people. It's absolutely, I don't know who would want to read it. It's like, you know, I thought about calling him a creep, but then I decided not to. That's a fascinating story, Hillary. She's going to have to make money some way, so maybe that's how she'll do it.
Every chapter will be about the thing that she was going to do. It's like the anti-memoir. She never did any of these things, Tyrus. It's like, I was going to say this. Anybody could write that book.
Well, I live that book. So, I mean, I was every time I have an argument, they're like, "What happened with your girl?" Well, I've told her like she was acting dumb, she not being right, and then, I mean, what did you really say? I didn't say nothing. I just sat there. But what I was gonna do, I mean, Hillary Clinton
changed it.
Changed the game. All right. Look, man, it's too damn soon for the book anyway. I mean, we know what happened. We just watched it.
Yes.
Wait about 50 years and then drop the book, What Happened. Bill will be gone by then. You can yell and bury him at the same time, and you can, the whole thing. Here's the cold part. If she would have said, "Back off, creep,"
she might have won.
She might have won, because then they'd be like, "Oh, wow, she cares. She's invested."
Yeah.
Not that Vulcan that was talking the whole time.
It's true, the Titanic, that movie came out a long time after the actual thing, Dean.
Yes, it did. Yes, it
she was the political Titanic.
And it sunk.
She hit an iceberg named Trump, and it went.
I find it shocking that she's charging for that. It's just a strange thing.
Yes.
That she's charging people that much money to come in and hear her speak. And Didn't they make a lot of money with the Clinton
To hear her
Foundation?
promote her book, though, that's like if commercials come on TV and they say, all right, you got to pay $40 to see these. Why would you do that?
It is. She's charging her for a commercial.
I think they're just jealous.
Well, donations are down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but didn't the foundation just kind of
Foundation's kind of like,
Didn't it poof?
you know, and I guess it'd
Yeah.
be rude
It's
for her to
gone.
start a GoFundMe, I need some more money thing.
You know, Gillian.
That's probably a better idea. Go
Well,
on.
who knows what Hillary Clinton's going to do?
All right, just so the audience knows, Tyrus has trained the audience to hiss every time Hillary's name is mentioned. All right,
Instead of booing.
Instead of booing. Gillian, could you imagine the process for writing this book? You get a poor guy, a writer in a hotel room that's got to listen to her stories. She whines for 8 hours. Then he's got to transcribe it, drinking and popping Ritalin. And then he's got to read it, and then he probably kills himself.
Again, I think you're probably just jealous.
You think I'm jealous?
You tried to charge these poor people $5. They wouldn't even pay that to come here to listen to your show.
See what I mean?
I was not supposed to say that, was I?
Yeah, that's okay. I'll take it. You know who's really happy about the book tour? Bill Clinton. Yep. He's going, wow, she's going to be gone for 3 months. He's gonna get through half that black book. He's gonna get to the letter P, maybe. Who knows? All right. The mayor of Berkeley has a solution for the conflicts over free speech. Cancel it. He's a free speech slayer, a First Amendment betrayer. He's Berkeley's awful, awful mayor. I speak of Jesse Arreguin, who's urging UC Berkeley to cancel a conservative group's plans for Free Speech Week later this month. The request comes after Antifa members, those brave chaps hiding behind masks, attacked conservative demonstrators in Berkeley last Sunday. The mayor's hoping to stop a campus group from hosting author Milo Yiannopoulos. He was supposed to speak at Berkeley earlier this year, but that got canceled after Antifa stormed the university, smashed windows, and set bonfires. Still, Mayor Jesse says he'd feel the same no matter who the speaker is.
If there was a far-left speaker that was coming to Berkeley campus who we knew would draw extremist groups to clash, I would express the same concerns. It has nothing to do with the content of speech.
You could almost see his nose growing as he spoke. Meanwhile, the university said no to canceling the event, that it'll protect the First Amendment. Here's the spokesman.
We can't, based on a generalized concern, shut down speech before it occurs. The law and the Supreme Court have been absolutely clear on that front.
Finally, some guts. So how did Antifa respond? They really are upstanding people. That was an insult to the asses.
Jackasses, yeah. You didn't deserve that.
Tyrus, this Antifa movement, now all of a sudden people are against it because I think somehow now it's okay, but we knew what they were from the start, right?
Well, I think the video and stuff's starting to come out.
Yeah.
The violence is on the same level or higher as, you know, one of the things about the resurgence of the Klan and the Nazi hate groups or whatever, and I'll give them this. They're very honest and upfront. I know that we're not going to have dinner together. Okay? I'm not going to go to their club. Okay? We're not going to play golf together. It's just not going to happen. Probably for their safety. But the other side preaches acceptance, understanding.
Right.
We're for the people. And do the same damn violence that the Klan does. There's no difference. And as a black man, I'm telling you, taking a person who supports Donald Trump and is walking down the street with his cape on and his hat on, and to rip his stuff off him, corner him and spit loogies on him while you call him a white trash pig is no different, as far as I'm concerned, is seeing the same thing happening if that was a brother and he was having white hate spitting on him. There's no difference. But start calling it what you're calling it.
Yeah.
They're a hate group.
You're a hate group.
So why not put Klan on the end of their stuff, because it's the same damn thing. The only difference is they're punk-ass hypocrites because they say we preach love, but they practice hate.
Yeah,
call it like you see it.
The interesting thing is, like, there are like 3 groups that wear masks. ISIS, KKK, and Antifa. If you added KKK to Antifa, it would be pronounced Antifa. Anti.
I'm working on that one.
Earmuffs.
Yes.
Earmuffs. Earmuffs.
What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I'm just angry they took that guy's cape off.
Yeah, yeah.
Because as a guy who wears a cape, I think that's terrible.
You are.
Thank you.
You are pro-cape.
I am pro-cape.
He's pro-cape.
I agree with everything Tyrus said, 100%. Not only because he could kill me, but because he's right. He's 100% right. It's been driving me nuts forever. The videos are out there all over the place. You see these guys, somebody talks to them, they try to explain what they're doing. It's the same guys that were guys and gals and folks who were hanging out in the square, the Occupy folks.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same group, kind of moved into this. They got violent. I'm telling you, they're not. They think they're violent. They're not that tough.
No.
Yeah.
And
well, they are tough when there's one person.
And
like the same thing on the other side.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's called a mob, and the mayor, I think, was a Facebook member of BAMN, which is By Any Means Necessary, which was an Antifa affinity group, if I remember. So I don't take his word for anything. Gillian, what do you think of Antifa? You are wearing black.
I'm a little bit.
She's unmasked, though.
She's unmasked.
Yeah.
By the way, yes.
I'm a little bit just horrified that these groups. I feel a little naive. I guess I didn't realize until very recently how, that the KKK existed in the 21st century.
Oh, that they're still here?
That they're still around.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's like 47 guys.
Well, so this is what the other.
How do you know that?
I was gonna, but I think,
48.
But
48.
Dean is right. I think that overall, Antifa and the KKK, they've become in recent months like these mythical groups that are like somehow spurring on American politics and upsetting race relations, and I think there's like 10 of each of them.
That's
like we don't want to give them too, like with ISIS, like we don't want to overblow.
Our cameras love
their effect.
visuals. And when you see, I was screaming about this watching TV, going like, why are we showing this? Why are we showing this? Why are we showing? We're just making it more romantic to see the violence.
Yeah.
It bugs me.
But every time you see that, you see somebody getting beat, and there's 74 guys with cameras going.
Exactly.
Like
They're all like this. They're all, everybody, that drives me nuts.
Putting the damn camera down and help somebody out.
There you go.
Yeah. Kat, Berkeley was the home of free speech. It was a movement led by Mario Salvio, I think was his name. Are we seeing the end of the free speech movement?
Well, with this mayor, what a joke.
Yeah.
I don't understand the thought process of, I don't like this group and the way they use violence to try to stop speech. Therefore, I'm going to give them exactly what they want and stop speech and say it's because of their violence.
Yeah.
Great plan. That's only going to encourage it. But, they are violent, they are bad, and they're also losers. Okay? No. Does anyone have any friends in Antifa? No. Because they don't have friends. Imagine having such a hard time making friends that you have to join Antifa while everyone else is at brunch.
Yeah, that's true. Though, it's funny. Whenever I see Antifa on TV, I can't locate Lou Dobbs.
Come on, man.
Not saying they're the same person.
I'm not saying anything, but,
You would see that smile. I don't care what hood he's got on.
That's true.
That's a perfect smile, yo, and I got a good one, but that brother got a good smile.
Yeah. All right, up next, Elon Musk calls for a ban on killer robots. I call for a ban on Elon Musk. They're sounding the bell on machines from hell. More than 100 artificial intelligence experts, including Tesla's CEO and my tandem bike partner, Elon Musk, are calling on the UN to ban the development of killer robots. In an open letter, AI specialists from 26 countries warned, quote, lethal autonomous weapons threaten to become the third revolution in warfare. These can be weapons of terror, weapons that despots and terrorists use against innocent populations, and weapons hacked to behave in undesirable ways. I concur, robots can go rogue at any moment, like mine did this morning. Kat, what I was trying to illustrate there is that military applications always extend to home and civil life. Robots end up rescuing people. Robots find people under rubble. And in your case, it could be a boyfriend.
Yeah.
It could be your next boyfriend, a robot.
It really, yeah, and I could maybe predict it a little better. This comment made no sense to me because all machines already are potentially killer robots.
Right.
Every machine in existence could kill you. Refrigerator could, fall on you. Washing machine, you could actually, accidentally get inside of it and turn it on and drown.
Not Tyrus.
A Roomba could, you could fall and trip on it, could just Roomba over your face until you can't breathe. 1,500 people die each year in Roomba-related accidents.
I don't believe that.
The mainstream media just doesn't report it.
You can take a bath with a toaster?
Yeah, bath in the toaster.
But you know what, Kat? Your point is actually autonomous cars, which is what Elon Musk is making, could be a terrorist device. So you're actually hitting unintentionally on a good point.
Yeah. Well, I know exactly what I'm doing.
Dean, why don't we get there first on these robots and then we'll talk? Well, I mean, the point is, his argument is saying we shouldn't do this because terrorists will get them. No, let's get them first, then we'll worry about it.
We've already got them.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, of course. We get drones. You got all kinds of stuff. That's what's going to happen. It's Terminator. It's happening. It literally is Terminator.
Yeah,
and you talk about robots a lot and automation. And it's a big deal. My sniper friends, they'd much rather be sitting here on a little control panel than having to go up on the top of the roof and clear a house and take over that house and get shot at. It's a horrible thing. It's going to get used. It's going to happen. I'm sorry, it's not going to get banned. Let's get there first. I agree.
I agree with you, but I'm more interested in when you begin a sentence with my sniper friends. Somehow I don't see that ever happening on, MSNBC.
No.
You're my sniper friend. Tyrus.
Yo.
The most efficient wars that save lives are the shortest wars. So it's always better to have efficient, specific weapons that take out the top guys so you don't have to kill everybody. Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah, like Grenada. It was like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I don't know if that was a good example, though. But
look, man, he probably wrote that because he probably got a DM from a friend in Germany like, we've got the killer robots. Oh, man. And then he, Dungeons and Dragons game went awry. You know what I'm saying? And his, the cyber girlfriend he's been building. Don't help. You're not allowed to help.
He's probably just upset about that.
He's dating Amber Heard?
No, she dumped him.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Leave it to her.
I don't even know who that
Can we keep it business? You got to bring his personal stuff up.
I'm just saying.
So he got mad at her. My girlfriend dumped me, so no killer robots for anybody. That's not how men think. We're all facts. You guys are emotional. You would do that.
You seem
Guess what,
very
guys?
emotional
No more
right now.
security. She's always talking when I'm trying to talk. Like, make her stop. She's bad. She's bad.
You think he just got broke up with? He'd be going for making the animatronic.
What I'm saying, he didn't say no more killer robots because my girlfriend left me.
But that would be funny if that was true. Gillian.
It's almost like he's intimidated by me.
Intimidated, irritated, both start with I. We'll go with whatever you want to do.
Somehow attracted.
It only happens on my show. I think that you can't ban a weapon before it's ever used because you have to make up. Gillian, you know this. You have to see what happens when it works and then work backwards, right?
Yeah, and my sniper friends were telling me that over the weekend. But Dean's right. This exists already. I was thinking while you were talking that we already have Predator drones in the sky that are responsible for thousands of deaths.
Yeah.
And Roombas.
Those are robot killers in the sky.
I just got a Roomba, and I just don't like it. Like, I'm sitting around, I'm on a beanbag chair, drinking wine, watching whatever I'm watching.
That's all right.
Yeah, and it's just kind of moving around, and I just don't, it's like, what are you doing? And I know it's like making plans.
It is. It's drawing up a blueprint of, like, your apartment.
It's figuring it out. It says, I'm going to plan when I'm going to trip this guy. It's going to happen right by the stairs, and then this place will be mine. Of course, I don't have any arms or legs, so as a Roomba, I wouldn't know what else to do except clean.
Beanbag?
I have a beanbag. Yeah, 3 beanbag chairs, actually.
Wow.
Only Greg would be murdered by a Roomba.
Yes.
Or
Final thoughts
The
next.
Americans.
I'll see you Monday for a Labor Day edition of The 5 at 9 p.m. Eastern. We're running out of time, so...
What you've wanted to say all show, but haven't had the chance to say, so here's your chance to say it. Right now.
Tyrus?
Hats off and to the people of Houston, and let's keep everyone pitching in, and let's fix that problem down there.
Yep. Last but not least, Kat.
Thank you, Greg. Well, you know, I'm from Detroit, big Detroit fan, big Tigers fan, and Justin Verlander, one of my really good friends, actually just got traded. He's leaving Detroit after 12 years, going to the Astros. So here's a picture of our good times together.
That's Photoshop.
You are a stalker.
Just having some good times together, and you know, I'll miss him.
I have a feeling the Tigers security is now calling and finding out where you are.
He's going to Houston.
That already probably happened with Keith Morrison, but
I'm a bit worried. All right. Thanks to Team Cain, Gillian Turner, Katherine, Tyrus, studio audience. I'm Greg Gutfeld. I love you, America. You did great this week.